Hello, welcome to Jason Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today's video, I'm continuing my series on my top 100 favorite albums. This time I'm hitting number 37 on my list, which is an album by Lionel Richie called Can't Slow It Down from 1983. So stay tuned and hear my thoughts here on Jason, the Old Millennial. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well here on a Thursday early evening period here in Kansas. And yeah, continuing my top 100 favorite albums. I'm now down to number 37 on my list. Number 37 favorite album. I got it on vinyl. I showed it on my new media pickup. Can't Slow Down by the great Lionel Richie. There's the album there. You got Lionel Richie just looking really cool, sitting backwards in a chair, because as we all know, that's the only cool way to sit in a chair. I mean, come on, you gotta sit backwards, you know. But yeah, I love his look there. Love the back, the what do you call it? The blazer with the sleeves pulled up. I mean, yeah, so cool. Such a cool looking guy. Kind of cool. Like I love the. He's got this on, I don't know what he's doing there, but he's on a pole there. But yeah, really cool. I was happy to get this on vinyl. I do enjoy getting these on vinyl when I can, if they're not too much. And yeah, Can't Slow Down came out in 1983, the year I was born. This is my favorite Lionel Richie record. It's also my top record in the 1980s, which will be surprising. Number 37. So there's no more records from the 1980s period. And it'd be surprised people go, Can't Slow Down, really? That's your favorite one? And yeah, the more I listened to it, the more I was like, yeah, I really love this record. And I think a lot of people, I get a lot of flack for liking Lionel Richie, and that's like, I don't know what to say. The guy has just really great vocals. It's so smooth and so catchy songs, and I really enjoy his style. He's pretty much the king of love songs. I mean, all the songs are very much romantic type songs. Like, I always think like, man, like back in 1980s, man, just, you know, if you had a date, like I'd like get your date, put Can't Slow Down on the record player, turn down the lights. I mean, you're gonna have a good time. Cause I can imagine all women were just like melting away on this album. It's so good and has so many good romantic lyrics in it that I really enjoyed. Let's see, I think my thing's a little backwards there. Okay. But yeah. And I even got made fun of one time for saying I like Lionel Richie by somebody on YouTube. So I'm sorry. You make fun of me. I like Lionel Richie, and I really like this album. I'm sure I have it higher than anybody else does. And I think it's because it's not a very long album. It's only 8 songs long. But because it's only 8 songs, but he nails it on every song. And so when you have an album that doesn't have that many songs, but all the songs are good, I mean, to me, that makes it like a really good album, because I always look at like good albums as albums that have a really good ratio of good to bad songs on it, or good to mediocre songs. And so when you have an album that's like 20 songs long, let's say a double album, sometimes your ratio is off because you might have only 10 good ones, but 20 bad ones or something, or whatever, 10 bad ones. And so it messes it all up. So if you have an album that only has so many songs, every song has to hit. And for me, every song is pretty good on this. And there's a couple of really, really good songs on here. Just say a little bit about the record. It was a huge record. I mean, it was also his second solo album. His first solo album, called Lionel Richie, actually was on my top 100 favorite albums. It's a bit lower on my list. But I really like the first one as well. Lionel Richie, the first album, is also good. This is definitely his best album that I've listened to from him. I would say it's definitely his most successful album, I think, by far. It was number 1 in the U.S. It sold over 20 million copies. I mean, it sold tons of records. Very popular. It's definitely his best-selling album of all time. Also, definitely was not only the best-selling, but also the most rewarding album that he's had as well. Just to say, it has 5 singles on here. 5 singles out, 8 songs were all radio hits. I mean, that's a pretty good, hit ratio, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, 5 of your 8 songs are like hit songs. I mean, yeah, you're really hitting it really good on this. You got 2 number 1 hits. All Night Long and Hello were your two number ones off here, which are two of some of Lionel Richie's best songs, I think. You also have Running with the Night went number 7 in the U.S. Stuck on You went number 3. And Penny Lover went number 8. So 5 top 10 songs on one album of 8 songs. I mean, that's why it's so good to me. And you got 2 really, really great ones in there, or 3. I think you got 3 really great ones here that I'll cover here in my top 3. Also, it won the Grammy for Album of the Year for 1985, which I'm a little confused because it came out in 1983, but yeah, it won the Grammy for Album of the Year for 1985. So I don't quite understand how Grammys work. That was always confusing to me, how they work, you know, what year, when it came out and when it wins, whatever. But whatever the case is, from what I saw, I mean, it was Grammy Album of the Year. So, I mean, pretty big. I mean, the only one that he's had that's won Album of the Year. So, like I said, biggest record for him. Definitely have to recommend. If you don't know Lionel Richie, man, if you like he's kind of more of a mixture of, I think, pop and R&B. But he sings just really great vocal work. You know, piano and mostly piano to his voice. More like these love ballads. He does a lot of these like love ballads, but they're so good, I think, if you like that kind of music. And I definitely recommend this one. I think, yeah, definitely check this out if you want to hear Lionel Richie's best. You know, and I said Lionel Richie's first album as well. I think his first 2 albums, I mean, just knocked it out of the park. I would recommend both those albums just if you want to get into Lionel Richie, in my opinion, anyways. But yeah, really excellent album. Get to my top 3 favorite songs here, and they're kind of the big ones on here, which not uncommon. And I'll have to say, yeah, Running with the Night actually is another song I've heard before on the radio, I think. Like I said, it was one of the singles. It's a really good song as well. Penny Lover, very good as well. Love Will Find a Way, very good. So yeah, almost every song. I mean, that's pretty good. 8 songs and so many really good hits on here. That's what makes it, I think, maybe an underrated album for me. I mean, it's not underrated in the fact that it was sold a lot of records and it's album of the year, but it's an album that nobody really talks about. I feel like I haven't heard anybody really talk about this as one of their favorite albums anyway. So, but yeah, definitely one I think that needs to be talked about more anyways. And Lionel Richie in himself, I think, is really one of my favorite artists. He also writes every song. He writes or co-writes every song. So he's a kind of underrated songwriter. I think he's a really good songwriter as well. Like I said, every song is pretty much a love song. But yeah, I just love the lyrics of these songs. And I'm just like, yeah, I totally fall in love with somebody listening to this music. So yeah, I totally recommend it. Anyways, number 3, I have All Night Long. Obviously, one of his number 1 hits. Song that's played a lot on the radio. Again, just great vocal work and it's very catchy. I love when he goes into the chorus of all night long, all night, all night, all night. Like, oh, so good. A lot of good drumming too. There's a lot of different drumming in this. And it's a fairly long song. It goes on for a while, but man, it's so good. Really enjoy his vocal work on here. Number 2 is Stuck on You. One of my favorite love songs of all time. One of my favorite of his, probably my second favorite of his as well. But I love the whole idea, you know, stuck on you, you know, but in a good way. Like he doesn't want to leave because he's in love with the girl, you know. And he says, I'm mighty glad you stayed. You know, I just love that part of it. Because I listen and I go, oh yeah, I just think of my wife, you know, like how much I love her and all that. And glad she stayed with me and all that. But yeah, I don't know. It's about, the lyrics are just, yeah, very good anyways. And I really love his vocals on here. Number 1, my favorite Lionel Richie song of all time, one as well, best well-known ones, is Hello. Adele does a different Hello, which is good, but I also like this song as well. It has such a good, you know, hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. Like, oh, so good when he goes into that whole thing. Just a great melody all around. And I don't know, I just love the music. I don't know, something about the music is so good. I love you, dun, dun, dun. I don't know, I just love the piano work, I guess, in the background. So good throughout. And it's not a love song. So, I mean, he's a love song in that he's a song about, you know, he's like somebody he's seen from afar that he's in love with. but he's almost kind of afraid to go say hello to them anyways. And it's kind of like, he wants to go up to this woman and say hello because he's seen her from afar, and he's like, wants to, you know, go out with her or whatever. So I love the whole idea behind it. And, you know, we've all had those feelings of like seeing someone going, man, I just want to go say hello, but I'm afraid to. Anyway, so yeah, just a great song. Like I said, so good, catchy, great lyrics in it. One of his best vocal works. Anyways, absolutely love that song. One of my top songs of all time, I would say. Anyways, is that song, Hello. So yeah, definitely, if you don't know, you should know those 3 songs. They're all big hits. But if not, definitely got to check the whole album out, because it's not very long, only 8 songs long, all very good anyway. So yeah, can't say enough. Really love Can't Slow Down from Lionel Richie from 1983. And that makes number 37 on my list of 100 favorite albums. So please comment. What do you think? Have you heard this album? What do you think of Lionel Richie? Is this a top album for you as well? Or do you not care for it? Or am I something wrong with me? You know, just let me know. And I'd like to read the comments, see what everybody thinks. But yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And just thank you to all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a good day.